Everyone, welcome to 2 and 3D. So I just decided to make this video because I've been getting so much comments about why you're not making character in Photoshop. Please make character in Photoshop and stuff like that. And recently a client of mine was telling me that okay, he wanted to make a character, he wanted me to make a character for him, but he wanted it in Photoshop, but also he wants access to be able to like change certain things, like be able to update things in general. So I decided that okay, let me just make this video that will explain it more concisely why I use Adobe Illustrator instead of Photoshop. Honestly, when I started out, when I started using Character Animator, I started out with Photoshop. So I have been creating characters in Photoshop, but I decided to start using Illustrator, and it was hard at first because it's not like it's not like when you learn Photoshop you automatically learn Adobe Illustrator. Of course, some of the knowledge is transferable, but there are certain things that you still have to get used to, like the brush, like stuff like blending and stuff like that, or so many features that are not available in Adobe Illustrator. So I had to get around that somehow, and I found ways to do that. But one thing that I really want you to put in mind is Adobe Illustrator is non-destructive. It's not like it's not completely non-destructive, but there are ways that you could use to handle it that it will be non-destructive. Like currently, this character, for instance, if you check, his hands are not, these look like his muscles were drawn, yes, but this is just a two parts, just 1 2. So this is sort of like a line, just a straight line. So this is replaceable. Right now, if I want to replace this particular arm, I could just select this, and I've drawn so many arms, so I could just select this and then come down here and replace it with an arm with shirt, like with short sleeve and stuff, and then I could replace this also. I will come here and replace this maybe to something like let's look for lower arm. So you just need to draw it, and then you see, boom, I've replaced it. And the good part is you could just select, like I could just select this and this, and then okay, let me just select this and then come to this point, this recolor artwork here. You click it. I know this feature is still available in Photoshop, but there are ways that you have to tinkle around to be able to get it to do what you want. But you see, right now I could just come here, just move this color, and the thing is changing. And I could go to advanced here, and then in advanced I could even select the color, put in the hex value, or like change it to like whatever color I just want it to be, and automatically update. And this is very, very cool because basically everything is non-destructive. So unlike Photoshop, so let's go to Photoshop so that I will show you like something I made in Photoshop. So Photoshop. Okay, so this is a character I made, and this is not non-destructive. I think the best you can do is to replace the color. So all you might be able to do here is okay, you see there is an underlying hand there, but all you can do is you have to redraw this. There's no way of replacing this, like it's not non-destructive. There's no way of replacing it with a different upper arm or something like that. So you definitely have to draw it. The best you can do is to recolor it, and I think there is a way around. I don't want to go into that, but I know that there is a way you can recolor it, but that's all you can do for this. And recoloring might not be that easy. It's not something like you could just select this whole character and just recolor it, so you have to go in and pick, select, and whatever like that. But you see, if you do in Adobe Illustrator, it's way easier than that. So let's go into Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so this character of mine, it comes with like so many hand triggers, and they are cycle triggers. So it means that they come with like one trigger alone could come with like 4 hand movements. So going in and manually tweaking this is not something that is not child's play. It's not something that you can easily do. These are some of the reasons why I opted out completely of Photoshop, and I don't like doing tutorials with Photoshop because it's sort of like limits you a bit. So if you stick with Adobe Illustrator, there are certain things that, of course, it will be hard at first, but eventually it will be so worth your time, because eventually you might just need to tinker around with like one or two things, and you'll be able to tweak your character to whatever shape or form you want it to look. So now let me just show you an instance. So now I could just come into this arm A here. Let me undo what we just did here so that you'll be able to see it. So I could just come into arm A here, maybe just go into isolation mode so that I'll be able to see what I'm doing. So it's just this arm A. So now I could select everything here, even without looking, even without seeing what is inside. I could select everything here and recolor. But there is a different way you can do this, and this applies to even when the entire character is here. So you could just unhide everything, and there is a shortcut for it. So Control Alt 3 will unhide everything, and you could select just select one, and then select same as appearance. When you do this, I don't know if it's showing. So if it's not showing, because OBS has a setting that probably I did not get right. So you come to the top here where this file, edit, type and select is, and you come to select here, and then you see the options available to you. You come to same, and then you see other options available to you, appearance, blending and whatever. So you click appearance. When you click appearance, it selects every single arm that is similar to that arm, in particular that particular arm. So you see all the arms are selected. So now you could just come here and replace them all at once without any stress. So I don't know if this is also showing. So what I'm actually selecting is the brush definition. So it's just below the row with file, edit, an object. I don't know, maybe I should just try and fix this. Let me try and fix it so that I'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, I just realized it's actually showing, so that's fine. So you come here, you select this, and then I will be able to replace every single arm in this arm group. So boom, every single arm is now the shoulder and whatever arm is now replaced, and boom, now he has short sleeves. And I could still do this here, maybe select this and then select same as appearance, boom, I've selected everything. And then now I could just come here. I don't know if I have the lower arm available. Let's see, let's try this one. Okay, boom, you see, replace, and suddenly he is now putting on, he now has short sleeve. So let me just unhide everything. There is a way of doing a shorter way of doing this, and maybe eventually I will definitely cover that in one of my videos, but let's just do it manually. So boom, he has a short sleeve. So easy. And I understand that this color is a bit different from this, and it's so easy to fix, just like exactly the same thing that I just said. So you pick this color, you get the hex value of this color. So let's just copy this hex value, and then let's just select the entire thing in the entire, even though it is invisible, the entire thing is being selected. And then you come here, and then you recolor, and then let's just change that particular color. Let's just change that particular, you paste the hex value. Okay, I don't know, it did not paste. Paste the hex value. Boom, we now have his arm wearing a short sleeve, and the colors are all the same. So this is so easy, it's non-destructive. You do not have to go through and be drawing everything again just for the character to look different from the previous character that you actually. So you could flip an old character, you could flip your character over and over and make different variations of the same character, which is just amazing. And this is something you cannot do in Photoshop. So that's one. And then now let me give you another reason why I use Adobe Illustrator instead. So this is a vector file. Amazing. Like, you could zoom in. This is just something that is just so cool. You could zoom in, and you never get those pixelations. In Photoshop, not the same. So let me just show you in Photoshop. Let me just zoom in, and this is a high what am I going to say, like it's high quality, like this is a high quality image, not really image, but character. Okay, this is very high def. So now let me just zoom in just a little. As I'm zooming in, you can see that the pixels is already showing, it's already pixelated, and you keep zooming and zooming and zooming, and boom, pixelations, and then it gets blurred. And this is so advantageous because, okay, right now if I'm making a video, an animation, and I want to zoom into this character's face, I want to zoom into his face, maybe when he's reacting to something or whatever, the quality, it might not be something that is noticeable maybe on a small device, but on a big TV, or let's say a big computer or whatever, a big screen, it will be noticeable. It will be something that will be noticeable. They definitely will notice that the quality is a bit off. They will see a high def from when the character is zoomed out, when it's all zoomed out, you see that it's high def and whatever, but when you now zoom into his face, they will be able to notice the pixelations. So that is another reason why you need to avoid Photoshop as much as possible. And it's not like you have to avoid it all through. There are certain characters that I cannot stick to Adobe Illustrator for. For instance, this Jenny character here, like this is a character that you can only make in Photoshop. This is sort of like a 3D looking character. This character has so many blending and whatever, so if I'm going to be making this, I definitely have to stick with Photoshop. I don't have a choice. You cannot make this kind of character in Adobe Illustrator. I really wish they could, but no. So you have to stick to it for this. And maybe like this peacock character, these are characters with so many blending modes and stuff like that, so there's no way of making this in Adobe Illustrator. But aside from this, every other character that just needs maybe shading, or just maybe like cartoony kind of like toon kind of shading and whatever, I would say stick to Adobe Illustrator as much as possible. And the advantage doesn't just end there. Let me show you another advantage of using Adobe Illustrator instead of Photoshop. So let's go into CH. Yep, let's go into CH. This is my Peter Griffin character. So this character is purely vector, and as you can see, it doesn't make any difference, because like making this in Photoshop just limits you, because this is a character that doesn't even have shade. There's no shade, like no shading or highlights or whatever, and even if there is, you could replicate that in Adobe Illustrator, so there's no point of making this in Photoshop in the first place. But let's now go into our rig panel, and this option is only available if you are using Adobe Illustrator. So okay, so this is the option here. When you select Peter Griffin, like the main character here, these are available to you, but this will not be available to you in if you are using Photoshop. And there is a reason for that. Photoshop is already pre-processed image, so Adobe Character Animator is supposed to convert your Illustrator file into a bitmap kind of image kind of thing. So that is why if you keep zooming in as much as this is a vector file, if you keep zooming in, the quality tends to fade, because there is a conversion process that is going on here, like from vector to image, bitmap rather. So one thing that you can do is, if you want your character to be like silky clean, all you just need to do is go into your file and scale it up. Like you just easy, you could just scale it up, scale up the character, and boom, you have a better quality. And that's if you want to zoom into his face, you cannot do that in Photoshop. If you zoom the character, if you make the character, you scale the character up, all you just end up getting is a pixelated character, because there's no quality is being added. But in Adobe Illustrator, you can zoom the character, just as a zoom, you can scale the character up, and automatically it will update here with higher quality. But aside from that, you could now come to this resolution here, like you could make it lower, and this is so like way good. Like if you want to do animation and maybe your computer is a bit slow, maybe your computer is like mine that is not very good, all you just need to do is take it down to 50. When you take it down to 50, you have a lower quality character, so you'll be able to animate very, very smoothly. So everything will be running smoothly when you have this at 50. But when you want to render, you can now bring it up to 200, 100, 200, or if you want it to be super silky, super clean, you could take it up to 400. So let me zoom in so that you'll be able to see the effect of like making this 400. So you can see we are seeing this pixelation here right now. But now if I click this and move it to 400, you just see how lines will become cleaner. It has not updated yet. It's processing, whatever. Boom, look at it, cleaner. And you could actually still go in and scale up your character. And if you scale it up, it will be way more cleaner. So that's an option again. So like right now, I don't even know why anybody after like all this that I've listed out, I don't know why anybody will be choosing Photoshop over Illustrator, honestly, especially for simple characters like this. So another advantage of using Illustrator is, okay, your computer, like the character tend to run way smoother. Like when you're running animations and running whatever, like Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Character Animator itself becomes very easier because it's just dealing with data and it's doing the conversion process. Yes, so you tend to get a more responsive animation. Like when you're animating, everything tends to respond way more, at least compared to when I'm using image file, so Photoshop files. So that's another thing to consider. Okay, so for my friend that wants me to make a puppet for him, he wants a South Park kind of puppet, but then he wants to be able to replace stuff. Now look at the issue here. Okay, so the first thing I told him was, okay, first thing that you need to do is, okay, maybe you get a puppet that has maybe a short sleeve shirt and a long sleeve shirt. So that's if he doesn't want to go through the rigor of like learning how to switch this easily, because you could easily switch this. And I have this ref file. People used to ask me, why do I have this here? But this is purposely for that. These are actually artworks that I made for the arm, so you could easily replace them. So these are like different arm groups and stuff like that. So you could come here, select, and then create a brush from it, blah like this. So now if I select this and then I come here, I use this new brush here, I could add this brush as an art brush, and when I add this, automatically this line is, it will now give you like a part that you can use to like create lines. So let me just undo that. I didn't need to do that. Okay, I have. All right. Okay, so this can be deleted. You could delete this. It's still fine. But okay, so the issue is, okay, now you make a short sleeve version and then you make a long sleeve version. Good, that's fine. But then the issue that I'm having with like explaining this is, okay, he wants to be able to flip the character, like be able to change certain things on the character and whatever. And so many of the parts he could do that in Photoshop. Like let's say his shirt, this is just one layer, so he could easily replicate that, do that here. But this character comes with so many arms, just the arm A alone. Let me go into isolation so I'll be able to see that clearly. So just this arm A alone has like let's say this should be like 40 or something like that hand groups. So he has to go in and then have to start redrawing all these manually. That's if he's going to be using Photoshop. You have to go in and be redrawing everything over and over, like go in, do this one like that, and that is just unnecessarily stressful. Understand that he wants to stick to Photoshop, but honestly speaking, I do not think if he wants the features of this character to, like, he wants all the features that comes with this particular kind of character, I know that using Photoshop will not ease his work. It will not make it easy for him to be able to modify this character. But right now, if I'm actually going to make a tutorial of how I can convert this Donald Trump character into Kamala Harris, and you see how easy it is to make this in this particular. So hopefully when I cover that, it will really help, it will push the point. But then I think you should stick to Adobe Illustrator. I understand that yes, you're used to Photoshop, but everything can be learned. Adobe Illustrator is not really far from Photoshop. Almost all the tools are similar, they look the same, and they do the same things. So I would say you should stick to this and just try to learn this process, and use this for most of your character, because honestly speaking, I don't even know what kind of character you create aside from those characters with blending modes and stuff. I don't know what kind of character you create that you need Photoshop for. So with all these advantages that I've listed, please go with Illustrator instead of Photoshop. And I think I've made my point. And if you have a counterpoint, please leave it in the comments and I will answer. Like if you believe that Photoshop is way better and you have your reasons, well, we could talk about it or whatever. So thank you for watching. Please give us a like, give us a sub. It will really help us. It will help us to reach more people and also help us to reach you more contents like this in the future. And please check our site to be able to check, like you could check this character. I'll be leaving the link in the description so you could just go in and check this character out. So thank you and bye for now.